Right. I mean, 90 minutes. It's not that much of a reach.
Yes. Yeah. So my solo review for the week, season 3 of Reacher. Well, I should say the first 4 episodes of Reacher, because the first 3 episodes dropped last week. I didn't have time to watch them before the show last week, but I was able to get caught up on it now, and I managed to sneak in episode 4 just before the show. So this season, one of the things about the show that I actually like is they're able to kind of do like a hybrid of being episodic and being serial. So each season is serialized. Like you have to watch one episode to understand, like the previous episode to know what's going on in the next one. But each season is episodic. So like each season is a self-contained story. So like season 1, he's in this little town in Georgia, and he's trying to find out who killed his brother. And then season 2 is where he's kind of going all over the place with members of his old Army CID unit, because other members of their unit were being killed. So he had to find out what was going on there. This season, Reacher is in Maine, and he's doing his usual wandering barbarian thing. Just kind of going around, and he doesn't own anything except for the clothes on his back, his boots, and a toothbrush. That's it. And while he's in Maine, he spots an old enemy that he thought he killed, but he unfortunately didn't. And when when he runs the license plate of the car that the guy is in, or he has a member of people from his old unit run the license plate, it triggers a federal investigation, and then 3 DEA agents show up at his motel room and tell him about the fact that the car was part of an investigation into this rug company that they think are smuggling drugs. And so they basically, so Reacher, along with these 3 DEA agents, one of them is this smart talking, short-tempered Boston woman who, she's got the Boston accent.
Boston.
Boston, go to harbor. And then another agent who's an older guy, who's I have a really great fear for that guy, because he's really close to retirement. Yeah, so
okay,
yeah.
look, as long as he doesn't show anybody a picture of his wife.
Yeah. And then the third guy is this young rookie who, the reason that they're having to be all clandestine with the investigation was because he screwed up the warrant that they were the search warrant that they had for these guys, because they thought they were on a national park, but they were actually on private property. So it just so everything they got in that warrant was inadmissible, and then they got kicked off the case. But anyway, so because and by the way, Reacher doesn't get involved in stuff unless he has a personal stake in it or a personal connection to it. And this bad guy, who's his name was Xavier Quinn, who's he was a lieutenant colonel who worked in Army intelligence, and he was selling military secrets to foreign powers. So he was a traitor. And we find out in the 4th episode that the reason Reacher just hates this guy so much is because he actually he killed a woman, his partner that he was working with in a woman that he was working with in the Army CID. And so basically what ends up happening is Reacher works with the 3 DEA agents. They have this whole elaborate scheme to get him undercover with the rug company called Bizarre. Bizarre as in bizarre, like weird, and bizarre as in shops.
I get it.
Yeah. So what they do is they kind of stage this whole attempted kidnapping on the son of the guy who owns the rug company. And the owner of the rug company is played by Anthony Michael Hall, who we saw him as a kid in 16 Candles. He was the one who was trying to get with Molly Ringwald. So they stage this kidnapping of his son because his son had actually been kidnapped before, and as a result of it, the kidnappers cut the kid's ear off, much like John Paul Getty's grandson, which that's a whole other thing. So Reacher, saves his life, saves the kid's life, saves him because it was all staged. And then he gets inside, and then of course, once he's inside, he meets one of the members of the security who's twice the size of Reacher. So if you watch the show or if you've seen the guy,
crap.
Yeah, he's huge. I mean, so Reacher's like 6'4", 6'5", weighs 240, 250. This guy he's pushing 7 feet and maybe 300 pounds. So he's huge. And I am really looking forward to that fight scene. But so far, I mean, it's paced really well. It's got a decent story, decent enough story. It's a typical Reacher story. My only like criticism of it so far has been with the new characters, specifically with the DEA agents. I mean, they're okay. But they don't really have the same, like, you don't have the same like connection with them that you did with like in the characters in the previous seasons, especially the second season when he's working with his old army unit people, because he has camaraderie with them, so they had really great chemistry with each other, and they could play off each other really well. And at this one, he's just kind of like, he's an outsider, and they don't have the same kind of charm or charisma that even the characters from the first season, even the first season characters had their own like quirks. But these folks, I'm kind of having a hard time liking them.
Do you think it's more the actors or more the writing or some combination of the two?
Probably a combination of the two. I will say the Boston lady is kind of getting on my nerves.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Yeah, she's a little much. I watched a TV show that was on back in the 2010s called Brazilian Isles. It was with Angie Harmon, and Angie Harmon had kind of the same, because it took place in Boston, so she had that kind of same Boston accent, but she wasn't. She wasn't over the top with it, and this actress, she's just like laying it on a little bit thick, but but other than that, I mean, I'm enjoying it so far, and it's I would say probably more of a slow burn than the other seasons. But I mean, it's obviously it's 4 episodes in. I think there are like 10 or 12 episodes in the season. So, just once it gets to like the last couple of episodes, that's usually where it really kicks up.
So far, you're enjoying your ride.
Yes, I am. Yeah, so far, yeah.